This bread was baked almost 2,000 years ago. Its baker expected it to be eaten before sunset, but that sunset never truly came. At midday, the sky over Pompeii turned black. Stones began falling from above. Roofs cracked. People screamed in the streets. And before the next morning, a burning cloud of ash and gas rushed through the city faster than any person could run. The bread survived, but the hands that made it disappeared from history. How can one ordinary loaf of bread tell us the story of an entire city's final hours? Let me tell you. Pompeii stood in southern Italy near the Bay of Naples at the foot of Mount Vesuvius. Today, we know Vesuvius as one of the most dangerous volcanoes in Europe. But to the people of Pompeii, it was not a monster. It was a green mountain, a familiar shape on the horizon, a part of daily life. Pompeii was not a forgotten village. It was a busy Roman town filled with temples, baths, workshops, taverns, political advertisements, street food counters, and an amphitheater. People came here to trade wine, olive oil, cloth, fish sauce, and bread. Rome was ruled by Emperor Titus in the year 79, but for most people in Pompeii, the emperor was far away. Their real world was the market, the street, the next election, the next debt, and the next meal. And in that world, bread was everywhere. Archaeologists have found bakeries, ovens, mills, and carbonized loaves inside the ruins. Food became evidence. A meal became a message from the past. So imagine one bakery on the morning of the eruption. Our baker is fictional, but his world is not. His oven, his millstones, his bread, and his danger all come from the archaeology of Pompeii. Before sunrise, he lights the oven. The room is warm. Grain is poured between heavy volcanic stones. A donkey turns the mill slowly. Flour gathers on the wooden table. The baker mixes the dough with practiced hands. He shapes the loaves, ties them around the middle, and cuts deep lines across the top. Outside, the city begins to wake. A child runs past the doorway. A customer complains about the price. Someone paints a political message on a nearby wall. Merchants open their shops. Animals move through the narrow streets. Smoke rises from kitchens. And above them all, Vesuvius stands silent. Peaceful, ordinary, alive. But Pompeii had already been warned. Years earlier, a powerful earthquake had damaged the region, and some buildings were still under repair. Walls were cracked, columns were unfinished. People knew the ground could shake. So when small tremors came again, they were frightening, but not impossible to explain. Then, around midday, the mountain changed. A violent explosion tore open the sky. A huge column of ash, gas, and stone rose above Vesuvius. The Roman eyewitness Pliny the Younger later compared it to a great pine tree, spreading its branches high in the air. At first, people watched, confused, silent, unable to understand what they were seeing. Then the stones began to fall. White pumice hit the streets. It struck rooftops like endless hail. Inside the bakery, dust fell from the ceiling. The oven still burned. The loaves were still inside. The baker closed his shutters. Outside, families covered their mouths with cloth. Some carried children. Some gathered money. Some tried to reach the city gates. And some stayed. They stayed to protect their homes. They stayed to wait for relatives. They stayed because they thought the danger would pass, or because they did not yet know that the mountain had only begun. Our baker takes a small bag, a few coins, maybe a family object, maybe the earnings of the morning. He reaches the doorway. The street is dark now. Pumice covers the ground. People are moving through the ash like shadows. Behind him, the last loaves are still inside the oven. He steps outside. For a moment, escape is possible. Then he hears a cry from the back room. Maybe an elderly relative, maybe an injured worker, maybe someone who cannot leave alone. He turns around. That choice is fiction, but choices like it were real. On that day, every person in Pompeii had to decide: run now, wait longer, go back, save someone, save money, save a child, or save yourself.
And every minute mattered. For hours, ash and pumice buried the city. Roofs collapsed under the weight. Doors disappeared. Streets became tunnels of dust and stone. The baker's oven went cold. The loaves blackened. The city gasped beneath the falling sky. Then the eruption column collapsed. And the final disaster came. A hot, fast-moving current of ash, gas, and volcanic material rushed toward Pompeii. Those who remained had almost no chance. By the next morning, Pompeii was silent. For centuries, the city slept under ash. And when it was found again, it did not speak through kings or generals. It spoke through ordinary things. A wall painting, a street sign, a cooking pot, a millstone, and a loaf of bread no customer ever collected. But there are myths about Pompeii too. The victims were not turned into stone. Their bodies decomposed inside hardened ash, leaving empty spaces. In the 19th century, archaeologists filled some of those spaces with plaster. That is how the famous human casts were made. Even the exact date of the eruption is debated. For a long time, people said it happened on August 24th, but later evidence suggests it may have happened in autumn. History is not always a closed book. Sometimes, even after 2,000 years, it still argues with us. And Pompeii did not simply vanish from memory. Some survivors and newcomers may have returned to the ruins. They lived among broken walls, buried rooms, and the remains of a city that could never truly come back. The baker was never named. Maybe he never existed exactly as we imagined him. But someone did bake that bread. Someone touched that dough. Someone expected an ordinary day. And that is why Pompeii still moves us. Because the tragedy is not only the destruction of a city, it is the interruption of normal life. A meal never eaten, a door never opened again, a morning that never ended. History is not only emperors, wars, and dates. Sometimes history is an ordinary person who turns back. Subscribe for the next journey into the past, because history is not dead. It is the mirror in which the present learns to recognize itself. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, we invite you to our page. Let's meet again in the next historical stories, forgotten places, and mysterious moments of human history. Until the next story, history is not dead. It is the mirror in which the present learns to recognize itself.
Every great city hides a darker story beneath the surface. Some were buried by disaster, others by time. But none of them are truly gone. If you want to uncover the rest, the entire Dark City Histories collection is waiting for you. History doesn't disappear. It only waits for someone to come looking. I'll see you in the next one, here on Darkline.